Hello and welcome to episode 124 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This has been quite a while since the draft has gone up. Basically, I have been a combination of busy, lazy, and I kind of achieved with how early I got episode 1 and 2 out of this series, I guess. So I still had more shit to do in the background. But it should all be fine for Raw, specifically. I think I've still got some more stuff for SmackDown to do, but that should be fine. But yeah, you can see fancy graphics now for matches that are on the show. I don't know which characters I've made because I've only made the two as of now for the announced matches that we announced last week. Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan and Mina versus Frankie Monet. So they'll be in there among maybe other matches that are taking place tonight. And yeah, without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show.
Too long, the lies and excuses have conquered. It's just a time bomb waiting to go off. So tell me why has it gone to this? We live just like we're dead. Afraid of something, afraid of someone. It's time to rise from the ashes. Rise into new day.
We start with a quick, earlier today videotape of Eve walking into the arena. She's approached by Charlie Caruso. She says, "Eve, make no mistake, you've been under fire quite a lot for the past week after what happened on the draft. You let the WWE Champion go to SmackDown. And we're basically just, everyone's waiting to see how is the WWE board acted to that, and what have you got plans to fix the situation with no world title on Raw?" And Eve, she's smart, she's like, "Charlie, I've got an idea. And I'm going to need the confirmation from management before I unveil it to the world. But let's just say, this old girl, she may have slipped up, but every cloud has a silver lining, and I think this silver lining is big and bright. And soon, nobody will be talking about the WWE Championship anymore." And she walks in to the arena. And we go to the actual Raw. We start with Drew McIntyre doing the franchise open that he started last week. And he's got another chance to make a star. And out comes Frankie Kazarian, who was in the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. And he gives the speech. It's the Drew, I've been at this for over 20 years, and I came to WWE for that one last chance at glory, and I realized that my best days are behind me. My in-ring career is quickly coming to an end, and I've had my one WrestleMania match. And all I'm asking for is just one Monday Night Raw match. So I can say that I did it. I wrestled on Raw. And what a better opponent to find than the franchise player of the show, that being you, Drew McIntyre. And of course Drew accepts, because he's a franchise boy, and it's going to be Drew and Kazarian. Gets a 79. Drew McIntyre defeats Frankie Kazarian in 12:23 with the Claymore. 90 for Drew McIntyre and a 52 for Kazarian. And then Drew would shake his hand after the match, yeah, you did good, guy. Go and enjoy your time, and go and enjoy being a trainer in the Performance Center, etc., etc. And Drew McIntyre picks up another dub here on Raw. 95 rated segment. This is John Morrison, Frankie Monet, and the Robert Stone brand come to the ring. And he's explaining, he's like, me and John, we've been the most must-see here on WWE Raw for quite some time, with the greatest tag team of this generation and any other. But we found ourselves with egg on our face, embarrassed at WrestleMania because of the J-Flow. I mean, who are they? Who are the J-Flow? Who cares? Which is why, when Robert Stone brand, they also had the issues with the same people we had issues with. What better way to get back at them than by creating this merger? And the Robert Stone brand is not dead per se, but it's been absolved into a much larger unit, the A-List Productions, because this is the A-List and we are awesome. Then all of J-Flow come out to sing I've Only Got Mina on screen because of she's the one wrestling and limitations for the segment. But yeah, it's going to be Frankie Monet, the former Taya Valkyrie, because we did shout her name, but like this happens a lot in NXT and WWE where somebody will debut and then the next week they're like, oh, now you called them the wrong name. This is their name now, and I think it's a bit too late to rename Brandy, give her the NXT name, Scarlet Story, but this is technically her actual appearance as being an actual member of the roster, so you may as well just give Taya her WWE name. But yeah, so Frankie Monet against Mina gets a 66. Frankie Monet wins her Raw debut. She cheats to defeat Mina in 8:38 using underhanded tactics and the road to Valhalla. 59 for Mina and a 56 for Frankie Monet. That's pretty good and a pretty good rating. This new product is really doing wonders for us. Vignette with Damian Priest. He's just chilling. He's taking his IC title to the nightclub and he's just partying, and he says he's got word that he needs to defend his IC title in Australia at WWE Backlash in 2 weeks. So he'll be here next week and he'll scout the competition. So whoever's worthy, step up and face the Archer of Infamy and face the Intercontinental Champion at that pay-per-view. But for now, it's time to enjoy the party life. And he downs a couple of shots, etc. He's just a cool dude. That's basically what we're trying to get across. He's just out clubbing with the title, women on each arm. He's just the dudes want to be Damian Priest right now. Huh? Oney James Storm gets a 73. Oney defeats James Storm in 6:38 with a half stranglehold just to get him a nice win on the show after last week. He gets a 78 and a 64 for James Storm, which is really fucking good. No storyline. They have great chemistry, so that's a good note. But Oney's pop probably skyrocketing, helping him. That's how you're going to go further up with this next segment. Because he shouts at the microphone, he says, Brock Lesnar, I'm still here. You think you're some big tough son of a bitch? Well, come and say that to my face again, because I'm still standing, and next time we meet, I'm going to kick your ass. Throw it up. Slams the mic on the floor, and he throws his finger in the air, as do the 11,298 people in the SNHU arena. And they go, eh-oh, eh-oh, eh-oh. I put this in the wrong place. After the match, AJ and Paige are celebrating when Nikki Cross and Kaylee Ray come to the ring. And they're like, well, you see, Paige, you've done a whole lot for us, and it's so awesome to see you back and AJ back as the frenemies yet again. But you sort of brought us to SmackDown and welcomed us and made us this team, and now we're a better team than we've ever been, so we're going to formally challenge you to a match for these tag team championships at Backlash, because from one team to another, let's get this done. Two Scottish girls, you're a British girl. AJ, she's your friend. But yeah, let's get this done at this pay-per-view. And Paige is like, girls, I respect you, but title matches aren't just handed out around here, they're earned. And I'll be more than happy to give you girls a title shot if you can earn the contendership. So yeah, my answer is not no, but wait and see, I guess. So Nikki Cross and Kaylee Ray trying to weasel their way in. Not weasel really, because they're baby faces. It's just, hey friend, you're our mentor, you're the champion, give us a shot, kind of thing. And then the match that preceded that, that was supposed to be before that segment, is AJ and Paige defeating the Iconics. In 10:05, AJ Lee pins Billie Kay, the Shining Wizard. 75 for Paige, 68 for AJ Lee, 57 for Peyton Royce, and a 55 for Billie Kay, who twisted her knee. But hey ho, that's better than what Billie Kay's getting in some worlds, because at least she's still a part of a tag team here that didn't get broken up for literally no reason, and then decided, hey pal, we broke up this tag team and now they're shit, so let's cut them. That would be silly. Why would I ever do that? Purge segment. Aleister Black. He's in the spooky room. He's holding his mask. Dexter and Dana in the background holding their masks. And there's obviously, you can see the blank spot where Susie normally stood. But there's no one there, of course, because she's now fucked off with the Fiend. And Aleister says, We've lost one today. At WrestleMania, I failed in my quest. I was gonna get Susie back, but the Fiend, I wasn't prepared for him. And God help me, nobody's ever gonna be prepared for him, because that man, that thing, it's too much for a lot of people, and we're a man down. And you can see there's a gap here. And he picks up what was Susie's old mask, and he says, "This mask, we can never replace the person who's wearing it." Then he throws it on the floor, and he still looks at the blank spot where Susie used to stand. Then he pulls another mask out, and he says, "But we do have a void that we need to fill." He turns to Dexter and Dane, and he hands the mask out, he's like, "You know who I want. Give her this." And then we cut out. So Aleister Black, he's not happy that the Fiend has taken Susie, but he seems to have another plan. He seems to have somebody else that he would like to sort of cohort and lead. We do know it's female. 62, Apollo Crews and Leon Ruff in a 2-minute, 11-second match. Leon Ruff is the king of the highly rated squash match, I see. But Apollo, he beats Leon Ruff in 2 minutes 11 with a standing moonsault, a 77 for Apollo Crews and a 40 for Leon Ruff. Lack of psychology in a 2-minute match. After the match, Apollo grabs a microphone. He's like, "Look at this man. This is the kind of man that you adore. This is the kind of man. This man reminds me so much of Daniel Bryan. It's not even funny. Look at him. He's a scrawny little pipsqueak. But I am Nigerian royalty. And I'm going to be the face of Monday Night Raw. Because I'm going to do it for my great-grandfather who told me that pipsqueak..." And he'd do the accent like, "Apollo, the Intercontinental Champion, pipsqueak like this. They do not belong in the world of the Prince of Nigeria." And then he's like, "You know, Granddad, I'm going to do you proud." And he goes to attack Leon Ruff again. And then Daniel Bryan comes running out and he fights that Apollo Crews off. And Apollo picks up the spear and he shouts, he's like, "I'll get you next time, bitch." And Bryan checks on Leon Ruff. Just, yeah, get Apollo over as like a, God damn it, this man, he's like a mid-card Daniel Bryan, small underdog guy. And again, he's not speaking in the accent all the time because that's silly. But when he quotes what his great Nigerian grandfather used to say, that's when the accent comes out. Because that's a nice shtick that I think could have stayed, but they decided to go full-on wacky with it. Also, Bryan is back, and he's on Raw, and Apollo and Bryan are continuing their feud. That's nice. Angle featuring the Undisputed Era. They talk about, they're doing the old Undisputed Era promo. God rest their soul. But they're in their little hangout place they used to hang out with all the time in NXT, talking about how they shocked the world. Because, Edge and Christian, Kofi and Woods, they both think they're the greatest tag team in the world, but they ain't Undisputed Era. There's only one 3-time NXT tag team champions, and you're looking at them. And when we said the system would be shocked, we did just that for nearly 4 years in NXT. So if you know what we're all about, then God damn it, you know what we're all about. And you know this isn't just an empty threat. You know that this is a promise. The Raw will never be the same again. This entire system has been shocked. And that is undisputed. They then have an 8-man tag team match against a bunch of nobodies. Alex Vega, Mark Sherman, Jake Atlas, and Rick Boogs. Adam Cole pins Rick Boogs with the deadly flying crossbody. 70 for Roderick Strong, 74 for Kyle O'Reilly, a 57 for Bobby Fish, a 79 for Adam Cole. 34 for Rick Boogs, 51 for Jake Atlas, 49 for Mark Sherman, and a 53 for Alex Vega. But the Undisputed Era, they've made their mark. They've told the world that they're going to shock the system here on Raw, and they've got their first victory. Rhea Ripley promo. She's just saying, again, similarly to Adam Cole and all them, how the Nightmare is coming to Raw. In case you don't know who she's all about, in case you've forgotten what she's capable of because she got beat by Charlotte on one bad night at the office. Just watch that Battle Royal. She tore everyone apart. She dismantled 2 women last week by herself. She's the only ever 2-time NXT Women's Champion, NXT UK Champion, and soon to be Raw Women's Champion. And you're questioning, who is this girl? Why did she get to be the third pick in the draft? Why did she get drafted before all these former world champions? Why did she get drafted the same time as Brock Lesnar? Well, watch and learn, bitch. She then defeats Alexa Bliss in a 76 rated match with the Riptide, 78 for Rhea, and a 61 for Alexa. After the match, Rhea's celebrating when Toni Storm comes out. She's like, congratulations, Rhea. It's so nice, you know. Me and you, we're both here. Two little Australian gals sent to NXT UK. Now look at us both here on Raw. And then they get the round of applause going, yeah, you've come so far. And Tony's like, you know, you really put yourself over in that video package just now. And don't get me wrong, it's all correct. You are this nightmare, this badass, this brutality. But didn't I beat you before? And Rhea's looking all confused. She's like, that was the old Rhea Ripley, Tony. And of course, I have the greatest respect for you. We're old friends. But that was the old Rhea Ripley. You've not stepped into the ring with this version of Rhea Ripley. So when Tony laughs, she's like, okay, I get it. You think that was the old Rhea Ripley, but you think I'm the same Toni Storm. Well, that's where you're wrong, because I'm nothing like that Toni Storm anymore. And then bang! She twats her with the microphone. Boo! She sort of pulls her hair out and makes her hair all messy, because that makes her look like a heel. And she lays Rhea Ripley out with a strong zero before getting a chair and pulmonizing her ankle or something. And then we check on Rhea Ripley as Toni Storm walks at the back, all doing a sexy heel strut, because that's what heels do. They automatically become sexier. 72. Kofi and Woods defeat Everrise when Kofi pins Matt Martel with the Trouble in Paradise. Both of the New Day men get an 84, a 59 for Chase Parker, and a 53 for Matt Martel. And then after the match, 3-on-2 assault. Not a 3-on-2 assault, apparently. We got to Alexa Bliss, who's kicking boxes and pulling her hairband out because she had her hair in the pigtails when she was wrestling. Now she's getting all frustrated, taking her wrist tape off, etc., to storming down the hallway. Charlie's like, Alexa. What's up? Alexa's like, I don't want to talk about it right now, Charlie. Leave me alone. And she storms into her locker room and slams the door shut.
Really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Firefly Funhouse. Susie's nowhere to be seen because she's still injured, so I'm not putting him on screen, and I feel like it would be cool mystery, be like, ooh, where did Su Yung go? Shan, he talks about how, yowie wowie, we made a new friend at WrestleMania. Did you know that our friend had that side to her? Valorant's like, you know, dude, I think she's really cool, dude. And then Bray's like, yeah, yowie wowie, she is. But don't you worry, because the fun's just getting started here. Well, we're here together, she's with us when she wants to be with us. It's all so much fun. And if any mean people like Aleister Black try to ruin that again. All we wanted was a friend, and we had a friend. But Aleister Black, he didn't like that. And he tried to ruin our fun. But it's okay, because we have her watching our back now, and if that's not enough, he is still lurking. Bye. 79 Hoss fight. Keith Lee defeats Luchasaurus in 11:31 with a power slam, or the Big Bang Catastrophe, or Spirit Bomb, whatever. Keith Lee gets a 92 and a 67 for Luchasaurus. That did its job, really, to be a banging, just upper mid-card towards the end of the show match. Yeah, and give Keith Lee a nice win after his big win over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. We then cut backstage to the Gorilla with Io and Kyrie and Charlie Caruso, who's getting her money's worth. I may replace her with whatever his name is, Kevin, the Irish guy, because just for realism's sake, but it'll probably still be the same character, just with the gender flipped and all the names changed because I don't rate them on anything. They're just there for the sake of it. And Charlie's talking to EO about the upcoming match between Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan that has huge Raw Women's Championship implications. And EO says, I beat Liv. I beat Liv to win this. I'd love to give Liv her rematch. Charlotte. She cost me the chance to become the NXT Women's Champion. I would love to give her that receipt. Because in this world, Rhea Ripley won the women's title from Charlotte in NXT. So we can keep the triple threat match the same, but we can just pretend that Rhea pinned Charlotte. So that's what cost you the title shot. And then she heads out for commentary or sit at ringside and watch the main event between Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan. But before that, we get Raw Talk advertisement. R-Truth and Charlie Caruso can be joined by Garza and Raquel, Alexa, and Ricochet. We know for a fact Alexa's got some things on her mind. Ricochet and Garza may do come the end of the night, who knows? Oh, right, I forgot. I should have realised that this would happen. So the match gets a 52 because it bombed, because apparently this is the 4th time I've done it. But I should have guessed that it wouldn't be as good as the other ones because I had to keep Charlotte strong, and there was a fuck finish. But it's a double DQ, double count out, whatever. They draw. So we've got no decisive winner. Oh, I wonder who's getting the title shot at the pay-per-view. And then after the match, Io's in the ring. Liv and Charlotte are both shouting at each other, going, how dare you, you bitch, you cost me this. And then Io gets in the ring, she laughs, she's got the title over her shoulder, flicks her hair back to look and just like, well, who am I facing now? You've drawn. I guess I don't have a challenger. But then that's when a split second of unity occurs, because Liv and Charlotte get the same idea. And they both just charge at Io and take her down. And then Charlotte looks at Liv, she's like, I see what you're all about. And Liv's looking angry and pissed off at Charlotte. And it's getting very tense, because she really wants that title shot, so does Charlotte. And they're both taking out the champion, they're both drawn here tonight. There seems to be a very obvious solution that Eve may have to pick here. Just saying. But speaking of Eve, the main event is a segment. It's pretty much Eve Torres' plea to save her job because she fucked up last week. She says, she gets over a smile. She's like, you know, everyone's been asking about my mistake last week, about I let the WWE Championship go to SmackDown. And it's true that I said at the time that it's fine, we've got a plan, but I'm human. I make errors. Everyone makes mistakes. I didn't have an idea. I just wanted to ensure everybody that on Raw, the fans of Monday Night Raw, that everything would be okay. But honestly, at the time, I didn't know. I didn't know if it was. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, as Kelly Clarkson would say. And this brand is going to be stronger than ever. And then she says, can the following men please make their way onto the stage? Those men are Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, The Miz, Andrade, Keith Lee, Buddy Murphy, Ricochet, and Angel Garza. And then they all walk onto the stage. She says, gentlemen, you are without a doubt, other than Drew McIntyre, but we'll get to why he's not here in a sec. But you are without a doubt some of the most elite here on Raw, and it would suck for you to not have a championship to wrestle for because of a mistake that I made. So I've been on the phone with the board all week. And here's what we're doing next week. Bryan versus Lashley. Keith Lee versus Andrade. The Miz versus Buddy Murphy. And Angel Garza versus Ricochet. In the first round of a tournament. Then the week after that will be the semi-finals, with the final taking place at Backlash in Australia. And the winner of that match, that's when she smiles, She pulls something out of her bag. Becomes World Heavyweight Champion. Holds big gold high up in the air. Crowd goes wild. Look at that fucking sexy, delicious belt. And one of these 8 men will hold it. After Backlash. She says, I know Drew McIntyre is the franchise player here, but I want to signify opportunity with this. And while some of you may be former world champions, I believe 3 of you are former world champions, yeah, Daniel Bryan, Buddy Murphy, and The Miz. Opportunity knocks. We've got our franchise player. Now all we need is our World Heavyweight Champion. So there's the big revelation. Probably obvious where that was going the second I drafted both championships to SmackDown. But it's just better than the Universal title, isn't it? So it's fine. But we're not done. We could have got the Raw Talk segments. Ricochet cuts a 70-minute promo because he's just got the bombshell news that he's got a chance to become World Heavyweight Champion. And he's like, Charlie, I didn't expect to come on here and talk about potentially becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, I grew up with that belt, and it's going to be mine. I've been putting in the work recently, as my ratings, obviously he wouldn't say this, but breaking kayfabe, as his ratings on the game have shown. And no one can stop me, and I'll be the one and only World Heavyweight Champion, and you can believe in me. You can believe in this superhero, because they are real, and I'm going to be the World Champion. Raquel and Angel Garza. Again, Garza, they're asking him questions. She's like, we just had Ricochet on here. He's actually our first round opponent in this tournament. How do you feel about that? And Garza says, I came so close to becoming the Universal Champion at Super Showdown against Baron Corbin. I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. And now I've got Raquel by my side. We're going to dominate Raw. We're going to become the power couple. Imagine Raquel Gonzalez as the Raw Women's Champion and Angel Garza as the World Heavyweight Champion. And finally, Alexa Bliss. She walks onto the steps. She's sort of like looking really disheveled. Her hair's a mess. She's just blankly staring. She just sits down, microphone in her hand, just staring in front of her. Charlie's like, Alexa, hey, we're going to talk into Raw Talk. And Alexa just turns at Charlie, still not saying anything. And Truth probably pats her and goes, yo, you okay, dog? And Alexa's like, don't touch me. And she's like, are we done here? And Charlie's like, you've just got here. Alexa, what's the matter? She's like, sorry, I'm not in the mood to talk. I've got somewhere I need to be. Some things I need to think about. And he just walks off and leaves, not saying anything really. But definitely leaving a lot of questions. Blair. Again, they were annoyed at the non-wrestling segments. Guess that didn't work. Guess I've got to show about 19 pre-show matches on there. It worked fine for SmackDown. Doesn't work for this one. And the main event was shit. Yay. What the fuck matters more than the 59s what you thought of the show? So I know for a fact you didn't think it was a 59. Unless you did, in which case, fair enough. But tell me what was shit about the show so I can improve it in the future. And I'll see you next time for SmackDown. Bye-bye.